Alrighty then, it's time for another Nautilus game, and this one is quite the peculiar one. Which one? And especially because of this title, it's not a joke, it's actually what happens in game. And I don't mean that I throw down my pants, bend over, and people pay me to, enjoy themselves. I'm saying that, look at my team composition. I'm on top lane Nautilus with exhaust. I thought I was going to be support, so I have a support build going top lane. I have 36 armor in my rune pages because I'm using a very cheesy support page. Nothing but armor. Armor reds, armor yellows, armor blues, armor quins, and masteries to reflect the support build as well. My Vayne is called Yasuo is God, and is Vayne instead of Yasuo. My Morgana has ignited because she thought she was going to have to be mid lane because apparently I was screwing up and was supposed to be top lane. So, I picked top lane Nautilus, and he's being when I was thinking I was going to be support, so I got a support build against Irelia, who shit stomps support, top lane Nautilus. So it's a really bad matchup, and I already have a really inappropriate build for it, so I'm in the shitter. Fortunately, it seems Irelia was pretty slow to lane, so her level 2 teleport shenanigans didn't truly pay off as much as it should have. But still, as soon as she gets level 5, you're going to see her tear my asshole apart. And there's not much I can do. Though fortunately for me, my Lee Sin is aware of this and knows he needs to assist my lane. My other teammates are handling their lanes rather properly, so he doesn't have to focus on them too much. And also Jungle Diana is probably one of the worst jungles in early aggression, so he doesn't have to worry about her doing anything whatsoever. So you can see Irelia jumped at me and she almost tore me a new hole. But she keeps jumping on me, she's being very aggro, but this is the opportunity that Lee Sin needs. So, as soon as Lee Sin shows up, Irelia has absolutely no chance of surviving, although it did cost me my exhaust and my flash. I used my exhaust on her when she was fighting me to, slow down my death. I figured if I died and Lee Sin didn't get there in time, Lee Sin had a chance of being killed by Irelia and the minions, so thankfully that was enough to... That was enough to deal with her. So you can see Lee Sin is making his rounds back up top. Irelia doesn't teleport home, so he knows she's just going to stick around. She didn't bother to ward, so she's pretty much dead yet again. I use my ultimate on her, knock her up, I pull her back and just buy ourselves more time, and she dies rather easily. Diana, for whatever reason, decides to show up too, but she's got absolutely no mana. I don't think that Lee Sin realized that he didn't need to burn his flash, because Diana had absolutely no more resources to use to nuke his ass down. And for whatever reason, Diana decides to stick around. So as soon as the last minion dies, I throw my hook immediately, grab her, and also Lee Sin's Hadouken punch kills her off too. So it's a huge swing in our favor. I have basically been able to stabilize my lane, and I pretty much will not be useless, so to speak. Irelia can still pretty much kill me in a 1v1 fight if I give her the opportunity to do so, but I won't be so easily killed or shoved out, and my lack of teleport won't be so punishing in lane. It would be punishing later on, but as a Nautilus, I don't think I'm ever going to, have to bother split pushing, because there's no point as Nautilus, because you can't really take down towers that well, and if you use your abilities before, if you use your abilities to push minions, and a team fight happens, their cooldowns aren't welcoming for that kind of strategy. By the way, that was a complete fuck up. I was paying attention to mid lane, Echo and Yasuo fighting, that I completely face checked the bush, and then I died like a bitch. It's really embarrassing. I fucked up. It was a moment of stupidity, but of course there's no excuse. I should constantly be paying attention. Anyways, the main reason I'm uploading this game is because there's a situation here that exemplifies one of the things I feel people need to learn, and I've even made a video about it. It's about the value of time. Like right now, that Diana just wasted a bunch of time. And wasted a bunch of health too. She put herself in a dangerous situation just to try to be cheeky with her ass. Like, ha ha ha, I can cure you and there's nothing you can do about it. So I pulled her in, and of course I can't, do more damage to her. I can't go all in. But the tower was able to chunk her for about 3 shots. So it cost me next to nothing, and it really hurt Diana. So it's like there was absolutely no value in her even using that Q, so, or at least in that position using that Q. And again, this is going to be reflected in a team fight later on in the game. It's mind blowing. You'll see. I don't mean mind-blowing as in so many cool plays, but in the level of poor play that's going to be shown. It's like it's one of the biggest blunders you can do in any game or in League of Legends or in any situation. And again, it's one of the things I think people need to truly, truly value. Like, well, I might as well explain it to you now because it will come up very soon. The value of time is important because a lot of people need to understand that just because a champion is low on health doesn't mean they're not dangerous. And just because you have numerical superiority doesn't mean anything if you're not using that superiority. Let's say one champ, let's say Lee Sin, for example, here. If he could probably kill Graves by himself, right? He can't beat Leona and Graves together. However, there is a chance he could kill both of them if they come at him one at a time, where he's able to kill Graves, restore his cooldowns, and then fight Leona. Thing is, they gave him a chance to catch his breath and refresh his cooldowns enough that he was able to regain his damage potential and his threat. So there's a situation, and I know a lot of you have mentioned it before, where your team or the enemy team fights 1v1. They think, oh, the enemy's super low on health. I should be able to take care of all of them because they're low on health and I do this much damage. But they disregard the fact that the enemy has potential to lock them down, has their cooldowns back up. That even if it's just even if their all combined health is just 500, they could still 5v1 your ass rather easily. I just keep that in mind when it happens because it is catastrophic. Now, as you can see, I have a Rod of Aegis as Nautilus. I think it's like, as an AP item, is probably the most reasonable for him. AP Nautilus isn't that great, but since I'm top lane and I get more gold than I would than if I was in the jungle, it makes logical sense as to purchase it, right? Catalyst would help me in lane. The AP would be some use, and the health is important. So yeah, I'm going basically bodyguard Nautilus at this point. So, two people get picked off rather easily. We push down for mid. The enemy can't defend it. And Irelia, again, this is that whole posturing thing. There's no reason for her to even be close by. So she gets pulled in. I actually screw up my snare, but I followed it up with my ultimate anyways, and she gets pretty much annihilated. Sorry, I think I have a little burp there. Anyways, same situation happens here too. Graves gets too close, gets snared, and almost destroyed. He has to flash out. These are just things that happen a lot in games. It's like there's no reason for a player to be standing there. Like there's no gain. Yeah, he can use his grenade smoke bomb, but it's not going to really slow us down or do anything. Just hang back and wait for your homies, because if you're by yourself, it doesn't matter how weak we are. We can grind you down. We can choose to sacrifice one person to kill you because you're more valuable than the person we chose to throw to the dumpsters. So, what was it? Sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused with my own video here. We go down bottom. You can see that they're pushing down bottom lane. They kill Graves, and Leona is pretty much trapped. Irelia decides to teleport in, but of course, she's against everybody. We just lock her down, and there's jack dick she can do. I did miss my cue, but I thought she was going to retreat, and so she can't go in full offense. Admittedly, that's what she should do since she's about to be dead anyways, but she shouldn't have teleported anywhere at all. Echo's by himself. He gets caught. He's going to use his ultimate to pretty much avoid death, right? No, I guess he just a snare helped him out. And here we're able to just push down. These two are going to do an okay attempt at stopping this, and Graves shows up, and so will Leona in a second. But this is the part that it was just so silly. We're CC heavy champions. Morgana doesn't have mana, so she's not really a threat, but they're not careful at all. We run into the bushes, we scan it, and realize they don't have anything here. So as soon as they get close, we gain the initiative, pull Echo, he gets murdered before he uses his ultimate, completely negated. Not worth anything. Graves is forced to use his abilities to escape, gets killed almost immediately, and Leona follows. So those was some brutalization that they had absolutely no way of escape. Then Irelia and the enemy Diana show up. Diana comes in, she gets exhausted. Irelia shows up, she was hiding in the bushes somewhere and managed to kill the Vayne. But watch this, they split their efforts. Irelia goes after the Morgana, while Yasuo turns to the Diana instead. This is actually one of my most favorite things that ever happened in any game, because the Yasuo was in the same situation as the Irelia, but the Yasuo chose to do something more valuable. The Morgana had no health or mana. There was absolutely no way she could contribute to the fight anymore beyond just auto attacks and being a body to hit. Irelia chased her down to get a free kill. There's nothing wrong with that, except that Diana was in a huge ass fight with the rest of my team. The Yasuo gave up the chase on the Irelia to turn his attention to the Diana, because the Diana was an immediate threat to his teammates who could still fight. The Yasuo was able to deal with Diana and then turn the attention to Irelia. So basically, Irelia threw her life away for a useless kill. The Morgana's death had absolutely no strategic advantage at that point. And the Yasuo recognized that the Diana needed to be taken down so he can save his teammates and kill somebody at the same time. Also, this Lee Sin ultimate is beautiful as hell, and then my ultimate, it's not so beautiful, it's pretty fucking bad. The Echo's kill, of course I just leave him because I'm not needed there. I thought the rest of my teammates were chasing me, but that was just me not really paying too much attention, so the ultimate's wasted, but it's all good. We have too huge of an advantage for us to lose now. My team seems way too more coordinated, and again, that Yasuo decision on bottom was really, like, impressive. Like, at this point, I felt, oh my god, my teammates, they're really on point. We made a really catastrophically, a big catastrophic mistake in Champion Select, but we've come out on top regardless of that. The enemy team at this point is arguing and yelling at each other in all chat. Diana, of course, is pretty much on tilt since she's not really doing anything. And like, they're gonna lose. It's, you know, spoiler alert, they're losing. If you like, again, I'll say, go back and watch that whole little 2-team fight scene where the enemy team face checked the bush and died. We had such an advantage of time there. We got our cooldowns back. We initiated so they didn't have a proper reaction. So it was beautiful. And then the Yasuo's decision to turn around and kill the Diana while their focus was so split. And the contrast to the Irelia not paying attention and going after the greedy kill. Same thing here. It's like the enemy team is so disorganized. Their resources are malspent. Irelia gets picked off and killed right now. I use my ultimate on Graves so I can also hit Echo. I grab the Irelia. She gets killed. Echo teleports back, but he's not going to survive it. Pew! And then absolutely murdered. And anyways, that's pretty much the game. The game where I became an accidental hooker, the rest of my teammates became accidental pimps and carried the day. That was so cool. Hooray! This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll, Pro Build Systems, and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet.